Yeah, doing alive. Huh? Hey, what's going on, guys? My gosh. Freaking YouTube, man. What is going on? Trying to get the stream together, guys. We'll get it right here. I got to have my Brooklyn. Hey, what's going on, guys? My gosh. What's going on, Keyless? Good morning. MB is in the building. Kyle T. Moore is in the building. How are you, bro? Good to see you. Big John is here. What's up, bro? Yes, sir. Let me see if I can't figure this out here real quick, because we have to have this. And it's, let's see. I think that works. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Brooklyn and the bridge. Hold on. Let me see here. We got to get up. We got to get our energy up. And the best way to do that, for sure, is Brooklyn and the bridge. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Here it is. Morning, good morning. Let's go. Brooklyn and the bridge. It's a celebration of the early adopters. It's a celebration of the root. Let's go. It's a celebration of those who understand the big picture. Yes, indeed. Life is good. What's going on this Flare Network's FIP01 drama? What's going on? Let's go. Let's go. Brooklyn and the bridge. The fam is here early Monday morning. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life. In the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning and happy Monday to each and every one of you. Hope you guys took advantage of Ever Revoke. Hope you took advantage of that. Hope you guys had an opportunity to check it out and take away some of those unlimited access and approvals and grants to your crypto. To your crypto, got to do it. What's going on with the Flare FIP drama? I don't know. Matt Hamilton is back at it again. I asked him some questions. We'll see if he responds. But he's back at it again. We're going to cover why, hopefully he'll answer these questions, but I just think the guy just doesn't quite understand. Well, we got the sun in the face here. What's going on? See what's going on this street. The chat is not catching up. Sure, got to get rid of it. Make sure the chat is up to date. Make sure the stream is good. Everybody doing well? I hope everyone's doing well. It's Monday morning. It's not coffee with Crypto Siege. It's tea, matcha tea. Matcha tea with the Crypto Siege. What's going on? Not a great football weekend for my New York Football Giants. Just was not great. That was not great. NFC East, not so great. Only the Eagles are left standing. The real Big Will is in the building. How are you, bro? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're hanging out watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to break the shadow ban on the channel because we talk the truth here. They don't like when we mention the U.S. entities. They don't like when we speak the truth about the banking cartel. Well, but we're going to break that. We're going to break that by subscribing to the channel. Hitting that like button without question for sure. This gets this channel out to more people hanging out on YouTube who don't quite understand that there's a new asset class being built right underneath their nose. We got to let them know. We need a new 1%. This is their chance to win. Kyle's like, man, they should have stayed up the turnpike. Yes, sir. Neil Wood, what's good? That intro was dope. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you checking in this morning. I love Brooklyn Bridge. Good to see you guys this morning for sure. Listen, the market is doing what it does. The market is doing what the market does. My guy, Garrett Soloway, I don't know. We broke that 21.5, 22.5. We broke that over 23,000 for BTC, for Bitcoin. Interesting to see what's going on. I believe he is still under the impression or still has the belief that this is, kind of a bear rally. We shall soon see. We shall soon see. I have to get up either really, really early in the morning or stay up real to the wee hours in the morning just to get rid of some ETH, man. Otherwise, you're just paying gazillion dollars. It's kind of crazy right now. I got some wrapped ETH. I got some wrapped AVAX. And I'm exiting because I don't believe this is the start of some new bottom is in, and here we go. I don't believe it. I don't believe so. That's just me in the Crypto Seasons home. You see, I got the sun thing going on. I don't even know how I get rid of the sun thing. Only I can get rid of the sun thing if I'm like this hanging out. I hang out like this. I can't hang out like that. It's good to see everyone this morning. I hope your life is treating you well. Hope life is treating you well. It's really, really an interesting time with Blair Networks for sure. Hugo got on Twitter again, trying to help people understand a thing. And I just wish he just gets to a point where he just understands that you're going to have, kind of three people. Those who get it, those who don't even know anything about anything that's going on. You got to get it. Property Rich was good. Good morning to you. Hey, Siege, what do you think of this? FTS sold 120,000 a flare at 24 cents. That is 30,000 profit, buying back in at 2 cents, gave them 1.5 million flare. Yeah, was that light FTSO? Was that the FTSO that did that? Very interesting to see that on crypto Twitter. It's very interesting to see those who look. The Flare Grant Program is a real deal, right? Flare Grant Program is a real deal. Celsius Network is part of the Flare Grant Program. that will allow XRP holders that are caught up in the Chapter 11 bankruptcy by no fault of their own and do not have access to their Flare tokens, their 15%. The Flare grant program will help them get their Flare tokens. So you have that end of a spectrum, and then you have the FTSOs on that end of the spectrum. Same Flare grant program. Yeah, I know. It was like a day before it went live. Yep. Yep. Property Rich, this was before it went live. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but it's the same Flare grant program, right? So the entity that received the Flare made a decision, not Flare Networks. The entity who received the Flare made a decision. For whatever the reason. But it is an FTSO, so we would hope that the FTSO is for the greater good of the Flare Layer 1 blockchain. We would hope that that is the case. Just like I hoped that Celsius Network was going to change this space in a big time way. Thank you, Property Rich. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're trying to break that shadow ban, Property Rich. We're trying to break it. I think come together, we can, collectively, we can break it. We can break it for sure. Right? So, right, Flare, the same Flare program, right? Flare Networks, Flare grant program. Flare Network apparently gave these part of the grant program to FTSOs, right? Right. So, Flare is thinking, okay, you're going to build out this thing. You're going to do this. You're participating. The FTSO is a huge part of what makes the Layer 1 work. Right. And some of those FTSOs decided to sell. And there's a lot of contention around them having access a day before the TDE. And here's the thing that I say. Some of those people acted and some didn't. Some acted and some didn't. Some acted and some didn't. Flare Network doesn't know what they're going to do when they're going to do it. But the intent was to get these FTSOs to, build out, become better in price data feed and other data feeds, right? Help them grow the ecosystem, right? I think we will just need everyone to just send this video to one person. Yeah, I like it, Property Rich. I think we will just need everyone to just send this video to one person. That will help a lot. Those smashing the likes do more help. There it is. Thank you, Property Rich. I appreciate that. So there's kind of two sides of the Flare grant program. I don't know if it's two sides. Obviously, the intent behind it is to grow the ecosystem. I saw David Schwartz put out a tweet. It's interesting about he believes personal interest in terms of XRP holders kind of to what is the word I want to say, default, or what is the word I want? It's not default. What is it? Yeah, it is default. Is it default? I will defer. Like, as an XRP holder, you have to defer to Flare Networks. And I'm not sure, right? Because he said he used to refer his personal interest. And I'm not sure that, I'm not sure if they're exclusive. I'm an XRP holder. And as an XRP holder, I don't feel like if I vote yes, which I did vote yes, that I'm somehow deferring my personal interest as an XRP holder. I don't see that. So I don't agree with that. I think I'm an XRP, as an XRP holder, I have personal interest in both Flare Network and XRP in the ecosystem, in both ecosystems. I really, really do. So guys, look, this market is crazy right now. I'm going to refresh it one more time so we can go over these numbers. It's interesting to see. Over 23,000 is still saying over 23 grand. Let me refresh that. I'm liking this VPN, man. Really liking my VPN. I'm going to share it with you guys as well. Sponsor the channel. Really happy with Hotspot Shield. Oh, so there it is. 22,837. It's below 23,000. Okay, let's go with these numbers real quick. So it came down under 23,000 fairly quick, but it did hit it. It was over 23.5. So total cryptocurrency market cap, guys, is $1.08 trillion. 1.08 trillion. Well, Bitcoin dominance is at 40.7%. It's just not a great number if you're looking for an alt season. Bitcoin is trading at $22,837. Ethereum is trading at $1,635. And XRP is trading at 42 cents. I saw it over 43 cents earlier this morning, I believe. Some double-figure greens on the 7-day. XRP is up 10.5% on the 7-day, interestingly enough. Shiba Inu is up 13% on the 7-day, 1,211 Satoshis there. Aptos up 67.4% on the 7-day, trading at $13.33. Interesting stuff there. It was surely a new 1% came through that through this particular ecosystem. Aptos, $13. Like Axie Infinity's up 38%, trading at $12.91. Does anyone ever wonder how it is that XRP? I understand now, but when it does get great news and amazing news, that it doesn't move like the rest of the market, and everyone just says, "Oh," everyone just kind of laughs that off. It's like, "Oh, that's XRP for you. It just doesn't move with great news." But Solana and the madness that's going over there with the VCs, it can move, and Shiba Inu can move, and Curve DAO can move, but Matic, Polygon can move with great news, partnerships. But XRP doesn't, and everyone just thinks, "Oh, okay." Don't you think there's got to be a reason for that? When we all understand that this market is heavily manipulated, like it's got to be a reason for that. Why is it this need to keep the level set price on XRP? You ever think about why that is? You guys ever think about why that is? I'm trying to see any Immutable X is up 17.4% on the 7-day, trading at 69 cents. And there it is. It is the market. And it is Nexo token is up 13% on the 7-day. But even with all this, the shame that is the SEC that took them out of the US, they're still doing okay, right? Think about that. Think about that. Some interesting stuff, I tell you. The 1-inch token is up 8.7%. It's modest 8.1%, right? So there's the market, guys. And it's just doing what it does. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in if you haven't done so already. Property Risk says, I totally agree with you, CJ. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. MB says it's been speculated that it might be the federated private sidechains. Gotcha. Yeah. I can see that. But my thing is why? Why this keep XRP in this low 2-3 cent, 4-5 cent range? Why? What's the reason why they want to display, if you will, that you can keep XRP at a certain price? Interesting to me. Is it perhaps the whole thing with the World Bank? I don't know. Suggesting that XRP and XLM are stable coins? I don't know. Property Risk says last week, where am I at here? What's going on? Property Risk says last week, Siege, you last week you spoke on a site where you can put your Flare tokens on and get 700%. Maybe it would be good if you did a breakdown on how to do this on Bifrost. On Bifrost? You mean if your FLR is on Bifrost? So yeah, I wonder if the Pangolin exchange is part of the Bifrost, because with your Bifrost wallet, you can bookmark exchanges. So the way this is going on, I don't think it's 700% any longer, Property Rich, but it is on the Pangolin decentralized exchange. Pangolin. And Mr. Miller, fan of the channel, OG on the channel, shared with us about that. Ultimately, you get a chance to be a liquidity provider, obviously. And those APRs, right, they kind of scream down. It's kind of early in the beginning, and then they kind of scream down. Ultimately, right, it's never 700% APR. For a year, those things go all the way down to less than 100%. And it is kind of factual that you really end up getting more FLR by wrapping and delegating. However, if some people may want the experience of being a liquidity provider and learning how that kind of stuff works, understanding the risk of impermanent loss is a big thing to understand. Really is a big thing to understand. What it's like to get fees, and what are those fees made up of? I don't know what the fees are made up of. I'll share with the family here for sure what it looks like. Devon, Steve, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Happy Monday to you. Not a great weekend for football if you're in the Crypto Siege's home. Oh no, the New York Football Giants took the L. And it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. We're going to cover some of this Flare FIP drama. We'll cover a little bit of that. Let me do this. Let me go here. Manhattan, again, not getting the big picture on why he's not qualified to speak on valuation models. He thinks that he is, and he is not. Not that he doesn't have valuable, he could have valuable input on a valuation model. What I suggest is, if you haven't done so, then how do you know? If you haven't done so, if you haven't been in the business of doing them and creating them, then how do you know what is logical and not logical? If you haven't spent 20 years in a profession doing so, how do you know one that is not good? How do you know? How do you know? Let's see if he responded. I don't think he did. I asked him some poignant questions. Is Flare the next FTX? I don't understand. What is that about? Paul Bogo did it. Is that Paul Bogo? I think it is Paul Bogo. These guys, but the airdrop dudes, man, trying to get you. Looks like he hasn't responded. So Molly Elmore of the Clever Hummingbird, what happened there? Molly Elmore of the Clever Hummingbird channel shared with the community, a certain part of the valuation model. I guess it's one part, maybe, right? Here it is here. What is the fair market value of XRP? For some insane and irrational reason, this is an emotional topic for people in the XRP community. My explanation on how this works via model number 1, by the way, of 5. Stay tuned for the full white paper, plus the original thread below. And Yassine Mubarak makes some interesting points. And I hope I said your name right. Matt Hamilton says stuff that just doesn't make any sense, but he believes that it does. And I asked him some questions here, and you can see there aren't any responses. Perhaps he's busy, getting to work on a valuation model for the first time in his professional career. So I asked Matt, because Matt says some stuff here. It says this is not based on any sound reason or logic. This model makes 2 gross assumptions. All the value in the world somehow is represented by XRP, and that the value of XRP will equal the value of all the other stuff. Yet those 2 points contradict. That is the problem. So I said, Matt Hamilton, in your professional career, have you ever put together or been part of a group that put together a valuation model of an asset, commodity or otherwise? No response yet. I'm sure he's pretty busy trying to figure some stuff out. And they also asked him, Matt Hamilton, have you worked in an industry where terms like cloud on title or fraud in the inducement were common everyday terms used in that industry? And then I also asked Matt Hamilton, have you ever done multi-billion-dollar deals of securities or commodities in a merger and acquisitions agreement? So we'll wait on the response. I don't know. I'm not sure what time it is in Australia. So we'll see if he responds here. So my point to Matt, and hopefully he responds, is I'm not sure that you're qualified to do what you're doing here in reference to these valuation models. Now, some might say, well, the people on the committee aren't, right? But the person who's running the committee is. Jimmy Valley is a person who's qualified in mergers and acquisitions, working with and or creating valuation models for commodities and or securities, and putting together multi-billion-dollar deals on numerous occasions in mergers and acquisitions, where you got to have a valuation model, right? You gotta know the business of cloud on title and fraud and inducement. What does the valuation model look like? What are the parameters? What do you use, right? Maybe there's 4 or 5 or 6 of them that kind of help you with the reference, and then you take from those 5 or 6 because you're in that business and or lane and or neighborhood, industry, and profession of using valuation models. And since you're in that profession of mergers, acquisitions, utilizing things like valuation models to come up with an agreement on the value of an asset, whether it be a commodity or security, since you're in that business and you've done so for 20 plus years and put together successful agreements in terms of what the price and the value of an asset or commodity or security is in the billions of dollars, perhaps you have a little experience in coming up with an evaluation model and a good reference point for foundations of valuation models of an asset, because you've been in the business of doing it for 20 years. Not coding, right? Not coming up with XRPL hooks amendments. And this is where Matt is missing. This is where he is missing the point. This is where he's just falling short. And he really just comes across as a guy who's hurt, who's in his feelings that he wasn't part of this committee. That's what it feels like to me. Now, is he a great coder? I would think so. Ripple hired him. And no one is questioning, again, no one is questioning the reason why we have federated side chains and why were you part of that and or hooks or anything having to do with the XRP ledger. No one's saying that the XRPL hooks or the the checks thing or the the side chains or even the automated automated market maker is flawed and has some challenges. No one's questioning that. The stuff, Matt, that you have more experience in dealing with, the stuff that you lived in and worked in every single day. No one's questioning it. Because we all know we're not qualified to do that, right? We're not qualified to do that. That's what we know. But Matt seems to think because he can kind of spell out from A to Z what the XRPL hooks is, that he's somehow qualified to what is the word? Somehow qualified to discredit a valuation model of an asset. And I just wholeheartedly agree with his approach. I'm sure he's a good coder. I don't think that Ripple would have hired the guy, or Ripple X would have hired him, Ripple or Ripple X, if he wasn't, kind of good in the coding space. Where's my thing out here? There she is. Okay. I have to be able to see myself here. Max PP, what's going on, my guy? How are you? Are you new to the channel, Max PP? New NYG got beat down. That's my favorite team. Yeah, we did get a beat down, bro. Appreciate you checking in. If you haven't already, Max P, please consider subscribing to the channel. We got the beat down for sure. Pookie says, one day we will look back and say crypto was a wild, fun ride. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how blessed we are? We're going to be able to say that to not only to our kids, but to our grandchildren, that we were early in this game, in this new asset class, this digital asset space, that we were early. We were here first. We own XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and before other people, right? We own Solana and Matic. Heck, we even owned some of the meme coins before. When meme coins were the thing, we'll share with them what how people became freaking gazillionaires off of meme coins like Doge coin. Isn't that interesting? MB says, does Matt Hamilton have his own model? It's a great question. My guess is no, he hasn't. That's not his lane. His lane is a coder, right? ROI livery. What's going on, my friend? Good morning to you, ROI. Passionate Rick is like, the low price of XRP is an intentional fix to keep the plebes out. There's a club and you ain't in it. There's something going on there, right, Passionate Rick? There is just something going on. We'll see if Matt responds. Again, who knows what time it is this morning. Oh, you've been a sub for 2 years now. I just don't comment too much. You do great content. Well, thank you, Max P. I appreciate that. And congratulations for commenting, joining in on the chat, man. Where are you checking in from, Max P? Where are you tuning in from, I should say? Yeah, doesn't have his own model. Matt doesn't have his own model. Look, there are content creators in the XRP space who don't get the confidential committee, who don't get the XRP buyback proposal, who don't get it. And that's cool if you don't understand it. Say you don't understand it. Property Rich said Rick. Sorry. Oh, you NYC as well. Nice. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in. Now that were you the one who said something about NYG getting beat down? I guess that would make sense. Yeah. I love it, bro. I love it. Brooklyn is in the house. Brooklyn and Queens. Born and raised in BK, bro. Appreciate you checking in. For sure, guys. So that, that's kind of my take on that. John Deaton. John Deaton holds no punches. Like, look, I don't have two. I have two. I do have two. I don't need two. John Deaton is like, the United States is being left behind. Period, point blank, full stop. John Deaton. What the heck? Where is it? What do you guys think about that? John is, you know how John is. He's a pit bull, man. He doesn't let go. Now, Brad, there's a reason why Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson went on a little tour echoing these very same sentiments. That the United States is being left behind, full stop. Crypto regulation is not coming, says John Deaton. I've seen some very smart people say things like, when we get regulation soon. I hate to be a Debbie Downer about politics in the U.S. But I don't see sensible crypto regulation being passed into law anytime soon. I believe the first or second quarter of 2025 is likely the earliest it could get done, and I may be being overly optimistic with that time estimate. The market will continue to receive guidance only through judicial results from the SEC's regulation by enforcement policy. In other words, guidance will come from federal district court decisions like Library, Ripple, Dragon Chain, etc. The industry must come together to help fight the SEC's enforcement-only policy. This is why Naomi Brockwell agreed to let me represent her in Library. Yes, the Library summary judgment decision has been made, and the SEC received a total victory from the judge's ruling. The SEC conceded on the record that many, if not most, LBC token holders did not review LBC as an investment. The SEC conceded on the record that many, if not most, LBC token holders did not view LBC as an investment, and that they utilized the token for consumptive use. However, when asked by the CEO, Jeremy Kauffman of Library, and strongly encouraged by the judge to provide clarity, regarding secondary transactions of LBC, the SEC has refused. I have the transcript from November 21st of 2022 hearing, although I'm not allowed to release it to the public yet. The words secondary market slant transactions and the word clarity were uttered on the record, more than a dozen times each, mostly from the judge. The SEC's response is the secondary market is not part of the case and controversy, and that the SEC doesn't give clarity. The SEC, that's the response. The SEC says, we don't give clarity. The SEC is seeking a permanent injunction that does not distinguish between Library and its executives and users of the platform or secondary market transactions. On January 30th, we have a hearing to discuss the issue. I have filed an amicus brief and an appearance in the case. Naomi Brockwell has never purchased an LBC token, and she has never sold a single token. She uses the tokens to help generate views for her videos. She didn't even know the tokens had a monetary value when she was first acquiring them. LBC is the quintessential. It's the quintessential utility token. Professional crypto traders have never heard of LBC. It's not an investment for its users. LBRY and its CEO have agreed to burn all pre-mined tokens. But the SEC won't budge on offering a no-action letter for users or an official statement or any type of clarity whatsoever. People have told me that I'm likely fighting a losing battle, but he says, maybe I am. But what else do? We have to fight all of these court battles because clarity through legislation is not coming. Congress, I triple dare you to prove me wrong. John Deaton gets it. He understands what the real fight is. He really does. He understands there's a reason why Congress is not acting. Not right. They're not putting action behind their words. He understands there's a reason for that. Right. And the reason is because of the real war being fought by the bank and banking regulators. That's the real fight. Remember, those dudes, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs of the world, ushered Gary Gensler to the front of the room. And prior to that, Sullivan and Cromwell put someone in place to ensure that the number one player in this new asset class, which is the company Ripple, in my opinion, and I'm going to even throw in allegedly, is the number one company in the payment space. And to slow them down because of arrangements having already been made with the likes of Alibaba. You got to understand there's just certain people that are 2, 3, and 4 steps ahead of the public. You can't make rhyme or reason of a last day 12-hour lawsuit brought against the number one player, if you will, in crypto and in payments. The major disruptor to the banking cartel and their cash flow, their golden goose. The number one disruptor of that golden goose is Ripple. Number one. You can't make sense of that last second lawsuit. Right? Last second lawsuit. Yeah. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. John gets the real fight. And he understands, look, if certain entities of the US government have been infiltrated by those who would want to cause harm to the US, in other words, it's just people that have sold their soul, and I like to say sold their country, sold out their country for profit, for their personal profit, sold out their country for their own personal profit. Like in my humble opinion, Jay Clayton. And then next, the dude who already got his, but for political aspirations. That's what they look for. You got to get it. They're looking for people who are looking for personal profit or some kind of aspirations. Jay Clayton, personal profit, in my humble opinion, to go from that, 10, 20, 30, 40 million net worth to, getting the hundreds of millions. And Gary Gensler, who already got his, 9 figures and his political aspirations. That's what it looks like to me. Proper Rich says it would be great to see you interview John Deaton. Yeah, that would be cool. I like John. I think we kind of come from the same, cloth, if you will. Who day, Auntie Bow. What's going on, Auntie Bow? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're hanging out in the chat, do me a favor, hit that like button. Oh, look, I got 25 likes now. Property Rich, I appreciate that. NB says, Bank of America liquidity crisis deemed a glitch is not a good sign. I didn't know that Bank of America had a deemed a glitch. Does Bank of America have a liquidity crisis? I have not heard about such a thing. Hey, Siege, I'm disappointed to see all this FTSO drama. I am too. It has gone beyond, and I'm fearful that this is all going to become a distraction for the team at Flair. I hope it doesn't. I hope that it does not become a distraction, but it really does feel like it has become a distraction for the team. Maybe Hugo is just there and he's kind of taking on that and deflecting it, and he's the only one dealing with it. And hopefully the team is focused on building, creating partnerships. Hopefully that's the case. Yeah, it would be nice to interview John. That would be really, really cool. Yeah, someone pointed out the FTSO drama. All right, let me do this. Let me do this first. Let me share my sponsor for the channel, Hotspot Shield VPN. Aaron Bennett put out something that's important. Don't open any file. Oh, wait a minute. Let me share this. Don't open any file from anyone where you aren't 100% sure you can verify the sender. Okay, it says, today my MetaMask, this is from Josh Chavez. Today my MetaMask was drained and NFTs sold all within a few minutes. Never thought it would happen to me, as I live on the internet and I can spot scams a mile away. But today I forgot to double check one small detail. Ouch, not great. It says here, he opened a .exe file and his MetaMask was hacked. And one of the reasons why that was able to kind of go through is because when you click on MetaMask and you get a transaction, you click approved. And you're on these different places and you click approve, and you can, right, and after approved, then you can click the next thing for the transaction to go through. On MetaMask, those are unlimited, right? Approvals, unlimited approvals. So I encourage people to go to everrise.com, and take advantage of one of their tools. One of the tools on the platform. Is this on? Let me see. Not yet. Hopefully this will come up. And use this tool called EverRevoke. Is it up? I don't know if it's up. I think it's up. Anyway, it's everrise.com, v3app.everrise.com, version 3 app.everrise.com. And or you can just type in everrise.com, then click on the ecosystem. But I use the EverRevoke, and you see here, I'm on the Binance Smart Chain, BSC Smart Chain. And you can see here, address, amount. It says unlimited approval, right? And then the action. See, they all say unlimited, unlimited, right? They all say unlimited. And this is Anchor Protocol. Big fan of Anchor. And then you got Binance US, Ellipsis, Ellipsis, Freeway Token, Pancake Swap, 10 cent, and Wrap BNB, right? If you don't want these to be unlimited, because you never know when something can be hacked, right? Ellipsis might be hacked. Freeway Token might be hacked. Pancake Swap might be hacked. If you revoke these unlimited things here, right? So you hit revoke here. Now you have to approve any transaction. So the hack thing would not work through your MetaMask. It would work through all the other MetaMask, but it won't work through yours. So you revoke that unlimited approval, and it's done. Let's see here. All right. I'm using Binance Smart Chain because the fees are cheaper. Couldn't use all the Ethereum ones. Although I think the cheapest of all of them is Phantom, I believe. So you confirm that? And you can see now it's gone. It doesn't have the unlimited approval. And the great thing about this Everrise.com is it will be connected to your MetaMask, and it'll have the different places that you're on there so that you don't have to deal with those things, right? And I just remove a few every day. You want to be in the habit of doing some every, once a week or so, just taking those away. Because remember, it doesn't do anything, but takes away these unlimited possibilities of stuff that can be, hacked like this guy was. And in order to do a transaction, if you want to go back to Anchor and do something, you got to use your MetaMask and got to prove it again anyway. But if you're not in the habit of doing stuff every day with a particular platform, you might as well take off those unlimited access, right? I mean, if it's months in between months of you using it, and you'll forget that you got these unlimited approvals. You see here, approval, Pancake Swap router, right? You see these different approvals here that you got to kind of revoke. Hugely, hugely, hugely important for your security. And another thing that is hugely important for your security are your VPNs, right? I am a Hotspot Shield is a sponsor of the channel, and I like what they're doing. And they have been voted the world's fastest VPN, which is crazy great. Absolutely love that. You can see right here, world's fastest VPN, Hotspot Shield. Love that, love that, love that. Tech Radar, again, third-party review, says more than twice the top speed we've seen from many competitors. Enjoy your favorite movies and shows worldwide on Netflix, YouTube, Prime, Disney Plus. So Netflix, YouTube, Prime, which is Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus. CNET, love it. One of the easiest VPNs to set up and use. Another third-party, technical guys look at stuff. I love that. ZDNet said VPN that lives up to the hype. I have premium. The free version for me, I don't like the ads, right? So I'm not a fan of that. So I get the premium version. I've discovered through using other VPNs that I've paid for, these $2.99s and $3.99s. They're not as great as you would like them to be in terms of your privacy. Now, let me see. What did I want to share with you? Make sure I find here. Here it is about Hotspot Shield. Hotspot Shield provides secure access to the internet to protect you from online threats while malware and phishing scams, while encrypting your web traffic to keep you private and protected from hackers and snoopers with a strict no activity logs policy. And that was kind of the challenge that I had with the VPN I was using prior to using Hotspot Shield. Hotspot Shield protects your private information simply by not storing it. Designed and developed by in Silicon Valley, most innovative and security company, Hotspot Shield is powered by industry-leading technology that provides a faster, more private and secure internet experience for over 700 million people. And I love this, 700 million people. And right now, right, you go to Google, whatever, look it up, Play Store, whatever, over 100 million plus downloads is, well, pretty impressive stuff there for sure, guys. Pretty impressive stuff there. Let me know. I know we have 1 or 2 people on the channel that are going to go check it out. If you do, again, I recommend, you got to do what's best for you, but I recommend the premium for sure. Especially if you're a big time streamer, premium obviously gives you more privacy, gives you more benefits. But if you're the type that, you know, cutting the cord types, especially if you're the cutting the cord types, you're going to love that. Hugo Filion. Let me share that. Is, you know, kind of going on some stuff, you know. And again, I hope he's protecting the team when he gets on Twitter. And this is the reason why he's getting on Twitter. I hope it's to protect the team. Whilst I find the hyperbole and invective in the delivery unnecessary, Oz Crypto is doing an important job for the ecosystem. This kind of scrutiny needs to be a constant presence in the eco. Yeah, interesting here. It says agree, says MP. But I understand 100%. We are at the beginning of Oz Crypto, and we are at the beginning. And if the BitTrue FTS selling of Flare pre-launch, it's just not right. So apparently BitTrue is an FTSO. They were part of the Flare grant program like all the other FTSOs or like other FTSOs. We need to know who the bad actors are, not living in ignorance. Hugo says, yes, it is not right. It's interesting. Mystical Illusion says she should also be compensated with $280K of Flare as a security group admin, LOL. And Hugo says, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. So, but he's agreeing. I mean, he's acknowledging that, you know, scrutiny is important. I mean, there's a little difference between scrutiny and criticism, right? So let's go over the FIP01 again. It's just about done. I mean, it's a landslide in the yes space, right? I understand why some people are annoyed with FIP01. It feels like a betrayal, but let me give you a few of the things we are dealing with at Flare Networks Limited. Single airdrops don't work. They get dumped before the ecosystem can develop, and the dumping then prevents the ecosystem from developing. The prior 36-month automatic distribution model is flawed, as it means that no additional work has to be done to receive the token, and hence continued excess liquidity. The FIP01 intends to solve the issues with the prior model while minimizing the effect on the original intended recipients. It lowers inflation massively. Less overall tokens. It allows for a smoother redistribution from those that don't want the token long term to those that do. If you've been involved in crypto since 2016, like myself, 2017, you understand those last 2 points. Low inflation and a redistribution of the token from those who don't to those that do. That's why I liken the opportunity with Flare Networks to that of Compound and Maker and Curve Finance more recently. Those who wanted the token and wanted to see the ecosystem thrive won in a massive way. In a massive way. Curve finance people got some people in the 30 to 80,000 a month range. A month. They had the same 36-month, I think it was 36 to 48-month deal. So theirs was, I believe, was just a straight lockup. But since it was in DeFi and you could participate and you could get these rewards every single day in the Curve ecosystem because it was a liquidity, right? It was in DeFi, stable coins primarily. But their stuff, 3 years to 4 years. The only thing that you could benefit, the only thing you could kind of take to the market was the liquidity from the fees and trading fees and all and those different type of deals. And at the end of those 3 years, you got the 30 to 70 to 80 grand a month. They had something like a top 10, top 20 list of Curve, whatever. There was a channel that I followed closely at that time a while back. I can't remember the name of the channel. Keyless would tell me the name of the channel. What is his name? I can't remember his name right now. But just, right, ka-ching, early to the platform, right, in the pennies, early, took a chance, took a risk on taking his own personal money, did the lockup, thing, and Curve grew and it grew and it grew, and more people came to Curve and more people came to Curve. Sound familiar? More people came to Curve because it was breakthrough technology at that time. More people came and more people came and more people came. And those who were dedicated to the ecosystems won in a big way. In a big way. So just some food for thought. It is designed to smooth dumping, smooth it, right? You can't prevent it, and allow the ecosystem to grow. And the lower inflations means even if an original XRP recipient gets fewer tokens, they may in fact end up with the same percentage. Then, depending on participation rate of wrapping, they may end up with more. The model is inspired by Bitcoin, where those that do the most work in the early days, the wrappers and the infra providers, are rewarded the most. You may not like FPI01. You may think I'm being shady and putting it forward, but I put it forward because it is what I believe is in the best interest of the Flare ecosystem over the long term. And I agree with you 100%, Hugo. Flare is now a much larger project. Flare is now a much larger project intending to provide value to the entire industry, right? To the entire industry. You don't chop up the pie, you increase the size of the pie, right? And maybe even expand the industry. To those that say we are abandoning the XRP holders, one, the only people that receive Flare just for holding a token are those from the XRP community. The only people. Not the Bitcoin people, not algo people, not any of these F-asset people, only the XRP community. It says, two, the FIP01 has been designed to minimize the negative effects while rectifying the old distribution model. Flare is the only, in all capital letters, Flare is the only major VC-backed project building around the XRP ecosystem. Say that again. Unlike Solana, that is VC everywhere, right? Why is Solana VC everywhere? Because they're not in the crosshairs of a United States government entity. Unfairly so. Solana has good technology, pretty fast. It breaks down a bunch, But however great it is not, let me say this again, it is not the XRP out. Not even close. I don't care how fast it is not even close. Tell me when the XRP ledger is broken down for 24 to 48 hours repeatedly. Flare is the only major VC-backed project building around the XRP ecosystem. Yes, we are also building around other networks, but we retain XRP. The community do not understand how impossible it was to convince the crypto VC system to back anything that touches XRP. But I persisted because I believe. Blair stood with XRP and pushed to get backing. We have put forward a proposal that we think is in the best interest of the network and the ecosystem. Now choose, if you will, stand with Blair. It's a great point. And these are the things that people just don't kind of get, because the vast majority of people have been conditioned to look at CoinMarketCap and make a decision on how your life is going to work in the digital asset space. Think about that. Most people have been conditioned to look at, I'm going to say CoinGecko, because CoinMarketCap is crap, to look at CoinGecko and make their life's decision on the digital asset space. Not hop on Telegrams and Discords, on every single AMA, doing your own due diligence, adding value to Twitter spaces. No. Look at CoinGecko and then complain if it doesn't work out for you. Kyle Timor brings us a great point. We should remember this. In the FTSO statement, they did apologize. That was light FTSO, Kyle Timor, thank you for sharing, who did apologize, but said that the sale will keep them in business for at least a year. I'm not sure when we're going to get over this thinking of dumping on you. I'm not sure when we're going to get over that kind of stuff and that kind of thinking, dumping on you. I'm telling you, this whole price thing is is the biggest distraction ever. And until we can level up our IQ and realize that we need to invest for the long haul and look at the value of a protocol, the value in the protocol, like other successful multimillionaires do in investing in business and technology, looking at the protocol. You know, I always say this on this channel, one of the greatest things about the digital asset space when Bitcoin launched and came into the space is you could go from 0 to 100 in about 90 days. You can go from 0 to hero in 120 days. And the biggest challenge in this new asset class is that you can go from 0 to hero in 120 days. So everyone's coming into that space. Everybody's coming into that space expecting that same thing. That's the challenge. That's why we say, Legendary, you have to level up. You got to get what you're in right now. You're blessed to be in a new asset class and early to a technology-driven asset class. And you're early and able to take that dirty, nasty fiat of yours and invest it in the future technologies. Tell me about your wins in Google and Facebook. Tell me about your wins in Netflix and Tesla. Tell me about them. Share with the community. Yet you get an opportunity to invest in breakthrough technology. Never ever in the history of the digital asset space has been anything remotely close to Flare networks. And yet you're talking about somebody dumping on you. Tell me about that. Explain to me, please. I want to know your rationale for that kind of thinking. And not only that, do you get to invest, you get to participate in the governance and the growing out of the ecosystem. Tell me about your votes that you put in for Bitcoin. Tell me about it. Which proposal were you in on? What about Ethereum? Okay, you missed Bitcoin. What about Ethereum? Tell me about your vote. How did it work? And growing out that ecosystem. Tell me about it. Share with me. Share that with me. But here you have that opportunity, and you're concerned. You're concerned about an FTSO dumping on you. That's your concern. You're concerned that they made $100-something thousand and turned their Flare holdings from whatever 250 to 1 point. That's your concern. An infrastructure provider like an FTSO, that's what they are, you're concerned about. You're concerned that an infrastructure provider has more Flare tokens than they had before. You're concerned about that. An infrastructure provider. I'm trying to understand it. Kyle T. Moore says truth. Legendary. I'm with you, bro. Legendary said, not only am I half Flare, I'm buying more Flares. Me too. I've been buying Flare tokens because I know that the price is just a distraction. It's the opportunity to be part of a protocol and a governance and being part of a layer one. So that in 5 or 10 years from now, you could say you were there first. You could share that with your children and grandchildren. What's going on, Crawfish? John 3:16 is in the building. What's going on, bro? Petrodollar going down, but XRP to the rescue. Petrodollar is in trouble. It's in trouble. And we're blessed to be in a position where we could say to ourselves, well, heck, what is the US's next move? Look, the 99% don't even know there's a game being played. The 99% don't even know that the US has got to make a move. They don't even know what the petrodollar is about. You think they know and familiar with the Confessions of the Economic Hitman books 1 and 2? You think they understand that and what's going on there? Do you think they know this notion of weaponizing the dollar and weaponizing the SWIFT system? Do you think they understand that? Do you think they know what's going on in China and Russia and how it could affect them? Ask them what a central bank digital currency is. I challenge you to ask your boys what a central bank digital currency is. But you know, you're in the know. John 3:16 says, we're so early, can imagine when all those trillions and trillions come to the crypto space. Imagine, it's coming, and it's coming. It's coming. The next thing to prepare for is if they try to turn this space over to accredited investors only, or first they'll try to do it to just the Goldman Sachs and JP Morgans of the world. And then maybe perhaps to accredited investors. Are you prepared for that? What that might look like? If all you got to work with JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and DeFi, do you know which choice to make? Do you know where to navigate safely in DeFi? Or where you just cave in and bend the knee to JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs? What's going on, Digital Function? Good to see you, bro. Digital Function says, hey, Siege, I have a problem. I can't stop buying Flare tokens. People do not realize what an opportunity we have with Flare and Songbird. When I think of Flare, I think of Curve Finance, MakerDAO, Compound. When I think of Songbird, I think of Kusama. No guarantees that Songbird can become Kusama, but there is a probability. Tell me about your Kusama wins. Share that with the community. What about MakerDAO and Compound or Aave? Tell me about those wins. Tell me about your early participation in those and how it worked out for you because you were there early. You were in the know. Yeah, Legendary is 100% correct. Most people are too busy trying to just survive and provide for themselves and their family. And that's the truth. Most people will spend the majority of the time going from failing to survival. And they'll just go up and down, failure, survival. How you doing? I'm getting by. How you doing? I'm getting by. Failure to survival. Truth. Let me see what else I can share with the fam. I shared John Deaton's thing. I think that was important to share. We got to know the real fight. I say it all the time. It's hugely important. Higo says the ecosystem needs more people undertaking this kind of scrutiny, talking about Oz Crypto. Grants should be available and with no editorial control from the foundation. Please approach us if you have the necessary data science background. There it is there, guys. We're so blessed, and I hope we all understand that. We're blessed. We really are. We are in a blessed situation. Early adopters is a really, really cool deal. We just got to strengthen our resolve and know what it is that we hold and, take some value and participation. There's a reason for the outro, right? The Crypto Sieges outro, there's a reason for that. It isn't just something I came up with. There's a reason for you. Are you participating? There's a reason for that. I noticed early on that was going to be the deal. Participation, right? Participation. And we had to walk away from the 99%, right, that have been just hoodwinked into comfort of having their head in the sand. Right? If you don't, it's not about getting the wealth, it's about holding the wealth. Well, how are you going to do that if you don't know? You got this amazing access to wealth, generational wealth opportunities, and it's just not enough to put it on a ledger. It's not enough to do that. It's not enough. And Hugo recognizes that. That's why he's trying to put something together. Him and the team are trying to put things together to gently nudge, as I like to say, participation. To gently nudge active participation. Right? Hugely important. All right, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out today. It's been a really, really cool hang. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed the hangout, and then ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.